Hello. We're following our shoulder practice with a restorative, uh, I'm going to call it hard opening practice. So this week we've kind of been strengthening the shoulders and giving variations of arm balancing poses, but the counter to that activity is passivity. So taking your yoga practice into this beautiful place where you can trigger your parasympathetic nervous system and come into this relaxation response. This is my student, Christian, and he's going to show us how to relax. So we'll have a few minutes in a supported back bend pose. If you have a couple of pillows, that would be handy. If you have a blanket or two, that would be handy. If you have a towel or an eye pillow of some sort, that would be also helpful here. You can do this pose with just one prop as well, and I'll get into that in a moment. But I'm going to put Christian in a pose using two pillows, one blanket, and one eye mask. Okay, so will you please sit right up here? So he's sitting and you're going to face that end of the mat. He's sitting facing away from where he's going to lay down. I'm placing a bolster right behind him. And so his low back is going to be clear. And that creates this kind of freedom in his low back. So please come all the way back and lay down. And then when he gets to the bolster, it kind of catches his mid back. And for him, his neck seems pretty good, but I think it might be more comfortable to have a little bit of height underneath his head. So please lift your head. And I'm just placing this blanket at its normal height and lay all the way down, just right under his head. So he has a little bit more lift for a relaxed neck. And I put the blanket, tucked it under a slight bit underneath his shoulders, that part of your shoulder that lifts away from the floor. It's nice to support that so your upper traps can release, and then your neck and your jaw, all of this can release down. Okay. The leg part of the pose is, please bend your knees and plant your feet, is to place, walk your feet forward, prop, a pillow, a blanket, blocks, and walk forward until your legs are straight. Underneath your knees, you can put it closer to your thighs, you can put it closer to your calves, you can kind of play with where it is exactly. But what I'm looking for is this ease here in the hip flexors and the hips and the belly. And then once all of that feels like or seems like it's pretty relaxed, you can just rest. So I might have you take your legs a tiny bit wider, Christian, and then your arms a tiny bit wider as well. And you see how when he takes his arms out, it opens up the armpits, so you can just create that nice breath. Your lungs go all the way up to that space under your armpit, so you want that easy breath. And then his shoulders relax a little more. Now the last piece is we're just placing an eye pillow over the eyes so that there's darkness. And it can be very soothing for some, and for some it's not a great option. So all of these props are optional. You know, you just kind of fit them in where you need them. You can exchange your bolster, your pillow, for a blanket underneath your back. If you have yoga blocks, that's a more intense version of this pose, but that's an option too. So just find some comfortable version of opening your chest up. And if you need to move it all and squiggle a little more until you're in your pose, please do that. And as you rest here, you're going to start with a big inhale, moving from the bottom of your pelvis into your belly, into your ribs, into your chest. And then exhale all the way back down. Let the back of your body release completely. You are not in control of your breath, but you can acknowledge that your breath is moving. You can feel this gentle rise and fall in the chest. Equal parts opening and softening across the front of your chest, into the sides of your chest, into your upper back. And that easy movement of breath is creating this flow, creating this energetic movement. In your heart center. The center for compassion. The center for love. The center where you discover your truth. A center that can get broken in order to open up even wider, to understand even more. Imagine a light coming into this center. As this heart space widens, a light enters the empty space. That light is warm, and it is creating warmth from your energetic center all the way down, all the way up, all the way right, all the way left, all the way back, all the way forward. That warmth is washing over you. Settle into that light. Bask in that light that shines within and through and without. Without changing anything, just bring attention into your body, into the sensations. Bring your attention into the feeling of breath moving through you, not controlled, but it may be a little slower and gentler than it was before. Slide your thumbs across the tips of your fingers. Open your hands and close them a few times. And slide your arms over your body until you're embracing yourself, hugging your chest. And maybe you reach the arms up overhead if that feels like a nice option. And point through your feet and stretch through your legs and make your body as long as possible. And then bend your knees one by one. Roll onto your right side off of your props into a fetal position. Rest. Feel the ground with your palms and press down until you find yourself in a seat. And turn your palms up for just a moment, taking in the effect of this practice. Place your palms together at the center of your chest and drop your chin in, showing your body gratitude for all that it does for you. Namaste.